right. Well, thank you for joining Who Taught Us That podcast with Jay and Miss Lady, where we talk about current events and various topics. We would like for you all to continue this conversation with friends and family, and we hope that you find this information interesting and thoughtful. So, Miss Lady, what are we talking about today?
All right. So today, I think we need to dive into what truly makes us happy and who taught us that. Like who taught us what makes us happy? And the reason I say who taught us that was follow behind that is a lot of people, a good majority of people feel like their happiness comes from money, from success. Like I'm not happy unless I got money in my pocket or I'm successful. And if I can't, like you hear a lot of men say, well, I'm not ready to get married because I don't have my finances built up yet. So where does that come from? Like, and is that truly, does happiness truly stem from that?
I don't really know that happiness comes from money because a lot of times when you was happy when you was little, you didn't know you was broke.
Right.
So you never knew that your family didn't have no money because you was having so much fun with cousins and family friends and the neighborhood kids. So I don't know that it's money. I think over time, as you get older, you begin to think it's money because of the objects that you want, that you think is going to make you happy. So I don't know what makes me happy. I think is just seeing other people happy, being in a safe space, and just being at peace. But what brings me peace, it could be money because you want to live in a nice neighborhood, whatever you consider to be nice, and you want to drive a nice car. Now, I don't drive an expensive car, but I think it's nice. But I know people that would rather have a more expensive car. So, of course, you need more money. But what's your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of going with what you're saying, but I kind of want to gear like from growing up. I'm okay. So let me back up. First thing is, you are absolutely 100% correct. When I was younger, I did not know that we were poor. So that's going to be my story for the day. I remember going to school, and the teacher, it was an economics class, and the teacher was talking about if you fall into this bracket, you consider poor. If you fall into this bracket, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, what? And I go home and I'm talking to my grandmother and she's, yes, we're poor. And I remember crying because I just could not fathom. What do you mean we're poor? We got food, we got a house, what you mean we poor? And that didn't register with me. Like I didn't understand that because as you stated, I had family, cousins. I was happy. I was a happy child.
Yes.
And so, but from there, I do believe, and so I say who taught us that, I think from there I had a goal for myself to be successful. Like I didn't want to be poor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be
but
poor.
But you was happy.
I was happy, but I didn't want to be poor.
But you was happily poor. You just didn't know it until someone woke you up and said, hey,
exactly.
Yeah, we are poor.
Exactly. So that changed something in me. That gave me like a drive or something. I was still happy. I was happy being a child. I guess let me say that. I was happy in my childhood being a child.
Yes.
But to grow up, I didn't want to be poor.
So
I didn't want to be labeled
as being poor. What was your goal
poor.
from that?
To be successful.
I know, but what did that entail? Did that entail a certain income? Because here recently, well, the last couple of years is when you start hearing people talk about, oh, I want six figures. I want six figures. When I was growing up, you didn't hear that term. You really didn't know what that meant. So when you say you set a goal, what did that mean to you to set a goal?
So for me personally, it meant, just step by step, like, okay, I'm going to finish high school. Although somebody listening might say, well, that ain't no goal. Well, back then it was for me and my family because nobody had done that.
Right.
So, and then from there, I'm going to go to college. And I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to have money, and I'm going to be successful. I'm not going to... I was happy, but there were days where, we didn't eat because we didn't have food. We didn't have full dinners and stuff like that. So I missed out on a lot, but still I was happy, but I I didn't know that that was poor, being poor.
Uh-huh.
I just thought, I mean, okay, so we ain't got no food today. It's all right. We'll we'll eat tomorrow. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but so that's what I'm saying. Like, who taught? At some point, I guess maybe in school, I was taught that I was poor,
Yes.
and because somebody labeled me,
Yes.
then I had a drive to
Yes.
not to be in that group anymore.
Right. I know people thought that we were rich because of the neighborhood that I grew up in. People was like, "Oh, you live in a rich neighborhood," which I did not understand what that meant. But I know in the Bible it always says, as long as you have food and clothes, you are rich within the Lord.
Yes.
And so I, growing up, every time, well, if I lose a job, quit a job, whatever the case may be, I would always say that to myself, girl, you got food and you got something to put on your back, so don't trip. You know how to heat up a house. If your electricity go off, you know how to stay warm. If your heat go off, you are good to go. But yeah, to look at success, I think over time, society is what teach you, if what's going to make you happy. Especially social media is a big point of it right now. But, prior to social media, it was looking at other people's lifestyle, looking at what they had. And that it was kind of the driven factor for me on what I was going to determine what my success looks like.
Mm-hmm. Now, I agree with that, and I'm glad you mentioned that because you mentioned it before me. I do believe social media is teaching us, what makes us happy because now it's, I got to go get the bag. I got to get the bag. Back in the day, I ain't going to say how far back, but remember, like, even music, like, Confunction and all them groups, they sung out of the heart, this straight from the heart, pure love, happiness, Frankie Beverly and Mays, joy and pain. I mean, it was not. Now you turn on radio, you getting slobbed down, sexed up, hitting it from the back.
Right.
There's no true, like, I mean, is that their happiness? Is that this generation's happiness?
The sad part about it is when you think about the artists that you mentioned, Confunction and Frankie Beverly, they was broke because, so many people in the music industry robbed them of their royalties and that type of thing. So they didn't even know they was broke. They just knew that they were doing shows with all these people screaming and hollering their names, and they were given things to make them think they was rich, but they really didn't have the funding for themselves to be able to do their budget and all that. Still nobody taught them that. And I think now the kind of music that we hear, people just do it for popularity. The nastier the better, the raunchier the better, because other people want to forget stuff, and so let me sing about this. So I don't know. I do think that it's taught over time, because that's just like if you have that one outfit that you like, and as soon as somebody tease you about it, you ain't gonna wear that outfit no more.
Right.
And so it's just the stipulation that people give you when they make a comment. Like sometimes you may make a comment about somebody's hair and be like, yeah, that ain't cute, but they could have said it as a joke or like a mean joke, or they could have said it just because, and now you are so self-conscious. But you have to have that internal drive to not let what people say or do on the outside affect what it is that you're trying to achieve. And that's what you hear a lot of influencers say, so what, people gonna tell you, a million times. You have to continue to move on. But what success is, I think, is just different for everybody.
You're right. Definitely different. But what you said some more key points on when people say things to you, like something might not, going back to my childhood, not realizing I'm poor until somebody actually said it. So we have a lot of things that make us feel good inside, music being one of them, being around friends and family. And money, you can't buy any of those things, but that's a lot of people's drive. It's like somewhere you were taught that you had to have money to be happy.
Yeah. And so let's talk about trendy stuff like in the African American culture, well, a lot of minority cultures, we believe that money is a reflection of what we wear and what we drive. I mean, and I think that that's a big misconception, because when I see flashy people, I'm completely turned off. Like I'm completely turned off, because that's a sign to me that you broke. Now, you may not be broke, but your behavior is broke because you don't need to wear stuff. You don't need to wear your label on the outside, because I can tell by the quality of the material if you pay some money for something. It doesn't have to be displayed on your, on the outer part of your garment. Same with your vehicle. And I remember somebody buying a car, and they was so concerned that they was getting like a little, just a regular car. And I was like, ain't nobody gonna know what you drove up in when you get to the destination. Everybody going inside the building.
Right.
But as a culture, we get caught up on, I want a Benz, I want a BMW, but those cars are so expensive to do just regular maintenance on them. But as people who want to appear rich, or who are rich, because some people really got the money and that's the car they want. Because I love a Range Rover, but I have several people who's like, don't you buy that Range Rover, because they are expensive to fix, and all the things that come with it. But I don't know. I just think that over time, as you get older, you are taught that from looking on the outside.
Right. And it also stems from how much attention do you love? I mean, that is it in a nutshell. How much attention do you love? Do you want all eyes on me? When you pull up in your whatever, your bright clothes, bright flashy clothes, your jewelry, whatever it is, you want somebody to notice you. It's like people that show up fashionably late.
Yeah.
You want to be noticed. So, you get, again, if I grew up poor, I should be one of them people that run out and, buy the expensive stuff, because I want you to know now that I'm doing pretty good myself. But I'm totally opposite of that. You won't know what I got because I'm not flashy. I don't want that attention.
Right.
So therefore, I'm going to scale back. Somebody be like, what do she got? Yeah. And same thing with my ex, very successful man. But you wouldn't be able to tell if you saw him on the street. He going to be in some sweatpants and some New Balance. With a hole in maybe
shirt, right. Looking like, what you mean? Yeah, I got enough $5 for it.
Yeah, and it just depends on how much attention you want.
But a lot of people live off the grid. They don't have bank accounts. They don't have a car. They don't have a home. But they're very happy, and they feel very successful. And I think that that's key too, because you don't have to have all those things to feel happy. I mean,
right.
Sometimes having those things, I think about my mom. She intentionally did not want a car, because she was like, no, because I don't want the maintenance of the vehicle, getting new tires, doing this, doing that. And that made her happy. She didn't mind getting on the bus or waiting on one of her kids to pick her up to take her somewhere. And so I think it's just all the individual and what makes them happy.
Right. I agree with that, because what makes me happy is giving back to the community, giving back to less fortunate, and I like to do things anonymously. I don't want you to know that I just,
you don't have your phone up talking
no.
I just gave this homeless man a sandwich.
No.
You like that sandwich? I'm like, oh my goodness.
And it gives me a sense of I don't know, because I want to be able to help. I think it's because, again, me growing up less fortunate, and I see somebody else, I want to help them. But, of course, not with the cameras off and all that. You know.
Right.
Yeah, and that just gives me a sense of, happiness. I don't know. God, what's that, purpose-driven life? Or
oh, yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, I like giving to people, too. I don't know that I do it to make me happy. I do it because I want to, and I know that they have a need. So I don't know. I guess, I don't know.
When I say make you happy, I mean, there's a certain, to know that you help someone should give you a certain type of a feeling of, man, I impacted their life, and maybe happy is not the word that I'm looking for, but just to impact someone's life and leave a mark on it. To whereas, we've talked about this before, where you meet certain people in life that, can change your path or change your, something of that nature. Like that to me is like a feeling that you can't get from money.
Right. I don't know. I always say to buy a house the design that you want and not have a mortgage payment, that would make me happy. I can make a whole list of things that in my mind it would make me happy. But
Until you gotta go do that line,
yes,
or replace that roof,
yes,
or
yes,
some plumbing or something,
or the hot water tank.
Yes, yes, yeah. Now, what you should say is buy the house, own the house, and then have unlimited free upkeep of the home.
That's not realistic, but yeah, it sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful, and I think that's the thing too is when you get happy, how do you stay happy? Maybe that should be the question. What makes you stay happy, and how did you learn that? Because you could be happy and then somebody just come and punch you real good and take the air out of you, but how do you get back there? Because that's difficult to do.
Isn't it yourself? It's not gratification. That's not it. But isn't it something inside of you that brings that about? Like somebody could try to tear you down, and they might just kind of nick at you just a little bit, but it's something inside of you that builds you up, that makes you be happy. So it's like you have people that face everyday life. Somebody might lose their job. Instead of going into a slump, they might be like, "That's okay. I'm gonna give me another one." Or it's like their perception or how they take things, how they deal, their coping mechanisms.
Yes, okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
because you have to stay happy. Because a lot of times, like when the weather changes or your relationship changes, then you become unhappy, and then you realize that you put all your happiness into a person.
I'm glad you said that, because see, that's something else that a lot of people will say, well, my man, my woman, or whoever makes me happy. And do you really believe that? I don't think people realize where their happiness comes from.
There you go. That right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think they realize. They think it's money. They think it's a relationship. They think it's a job. They think it's this and that. When they don't realize what actually makes them happy, I believe, is yourself.
That's interesting, yeah. And I truly believe that. I don't think people can articulate what makes them happy.
Yeah.
Because when they want something and then they get it, now they trying to get something else, and then they get it, and then they look back, and it's just, setting them gold after gold after gold. And I don't know. Sometimes I look back and I go, God, this made me happy. I went on a trip one time. That was the best trip I ever took. It was a gazillion of us that went. And we had so much fun. And I really didn't think I was going to be happy on the trip because it was so many people. You had all these different personalities. That was the best trip. And even my kids be like, yeah, that was the best trip ever. That was the best trip ever.
So what made it the best trip?
I think just enjoying each other's company.
Okay.
Like we had an agenda and everybody was kind of fussing about the agenda. But I just think just piling up in the cars and getting to the location and just
So the people you were with.
I think the people that I was with is what made it, a happy scene. But even though we had stuff to do, I think we all had the most fun when we were at the house enjoying each other's company, because everybody was doing something different, whereas playing games, swimming, or just sitting in the kitchen talking, whatever. But yeah, it was just happy. It was just a happy time.
Yeah. I call those like in the moments, or like I said, feel good things that I really believe that those, like everybody, we need somebody. So people that sit around and be like, I don't need nobody. I'm fine being by myself. No, you're not.
Right.
You think you are, but really you're not, because you can get a visit from one person or three people or whatever, but just that interaction or exchange between the two of y'all can just make your, what is it that we give off?
Endorphins.
Yes. Yes, just sky high or whatever. And it's just, I believe it's moments like that, like I said, it's not money driven. We think it is, but it really is not.
Money makes you comfortable.
Money makes you comfortable, yes.
And then you pursue happiness from you being comfortable.
But the most miserable people have a lot of money. I mean, look at, not to throw no names out there, but people in the industry that's committed suicide and, and just a lot because you think they happy, like, man, why would they do that? They happy, but maybe they're not. And you hear
Yeah.
a lot of comedians say that. A lot of comedians are the most depressed people. They too busy making everybody else laugh, and they are miserable
But why is that?
because they're not again, that attention. They're not happy inside or whatever, and so it's easy for me to deflect. It's easy for me to throw a joke out there and make you laugh, but I'm miserable on the inside.
Yes, this is true. This is true. You do see that a lot. And which is so unfortunate because a lot of times the family and friends are usually blindsided by it. And then sometimes I think people have so much money that they get bored that they just start trying different stuff. And I think that begins to make them be unhappy because now they're doing stuff that they know that they don't approve of themselves, or a family or friend or whatever
Right.
don't approve of it, and then it causes them to feel some kind of way about who they are. They start questioning who they were at that time.
Right, and I agree with that. And same thing like with relationships, people that cheat or dip out or whatever. I think that they get bored because a lot of people, they put in their expectations, or they go in a relationship thinking, oh, I'm gonna be happy, this person makes me happy, or this person, trying to mask whatever it is that they hiding, and then after 6 months, a year, whatever, then they right back in the slump, because they was never really happy. I mean, it was a in the moment happiness. And then the person they with, they didn't put them in a situation because now they figuring like, dang, well, what I didn't do, but it was never about them anyway.
It's kind of like that get over relationship. You get out of one bad relationship, and then the next person, I'll be like, don't be the rebound person, because they not gonna stay committed to you. But sometimes that may not be true for all cases. Sometimes people may find that rebound person was the person that they wanted to be with all along. So
Right, yeah. I mean, it depends on what makes them happy. And that rebound person, yeah, like you said, they could have everything. I mean, they're labeled as a rebound, but if something ain't working over here, it ain't working. Why this person got to be a rebound? Because, your heart's over here. So that's what I tell people. Don't, see, that's a whole nother, because that's a pet peeve of mine. Do not go over to the right if you ain't done with the left.
Oh, this is true.
Don't do that, trying to get over, because now you didn't pull somebody else in your mess.
Yes.
And made a complete mess of things, and that person was innocent, minding their own business. See what I'm saying?
But people do that all the time. I think, people are attracted to people minding their business, so to speak. So when you go somewhere and you very intense about who you are, and you're not looking around trying to find a mate, I think that makes people go, oh, let me go over here and disturb their peace a little bit. I done witnessed it for myself. And I'm like, now you don't want to be in no relationship. Why are you ready to go bother this person? But people do it all the time.
They do.
I don't know what's attractive about that. What's attractive about that?
About somebody disturbing somebody's, or harassing the person that's single.
I don't want to say harassing. Don't say harassing. They're engaged with this person because they see that they are at peace. I don't know what it is about that.
Because they want that peace. They want what you got. Okay, so if you are happy and you living your best life and you just a joy to be around, I see you every time I see you, like, dang, she is, I mean, does she ever get mad? Is she upset? She's just a joy. I want what she got. I want to be a part of her circle. And so basically I'm attracted to that. And so I'm gravitating towards you. Now me, I'm a mess. I ain't got my life together and all that. But maybe if I get with you, then maybe you can help me get over my...
No, because you're going to disturb my peace.
I am, but that's not what I'm thinking. That's not what you just... I am going to disturb your peace, but that's not how I'm coming at it. I'm coming at it because I'm attracted to it.
Well, I'm good on walking away from people who are... I hate to say disturbing my peace, but I don't do needy people. I could do needy people for so long, And then if you like can't stand up, you gotta always lean on me. Yeah, you gonna look up and I'm gonna be gone.
See, that's
I
another
can't do
thing.
that.
I know, but what attracts? I find that I am a magnet to needy people, like narcissistic people. I mean, they just zoom and attach themselves to me, and I be trying to shake them off, like get off me, you know. And they just keep. Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I must got some silky smooth stuff on me because, honey, they unless it's like in a work environment or something, I can't do it because I see it coming most times, and I'm just like, yeah, I cannot do you.
Right.
Like we could be friends. Hey, how you doing? Oh, da, 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 da. And then we not talking afterwards because I just cannot do it.
And I be trying. And I think my problem is, like my daughter told me, I'm too nice. So I try to be like, oh no, it's all good. You know how you doing? But then after a while, nope, get off me, you bloodsucker.
You bloodsucker. Now they label you as the mean person.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not mean. I just don't have time for your shenanigans.
Yeah.
I know somebody they only call when they need or want something, and I'm just like, please stop taking that call or just answer the question. That's what I had to tell somebody. I said, just answer the question. I said, so they say what you're doing. You don't say, oh, I'm not doing nothing. You say, I am doing da 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 da. That way they won't say, okay, well, I'm going to come over. Because once they get over there, they just stand for an enormous amount of time and they don't want nothing. And then you can't accomplish nothing because you didn't entertain this person all day who just wants to suck the life out of you.
Bloodsuckers.
Yeah. And that takes your happiness away because now you're annoyed and now you're trying to figure out how to get rid of this person. So yeah, I'll be like, nah, I'm about to leave. I'm about to, and I may leave just so I'm not a liar, but no.
Yeah, I don't like that. You don't pop up. Don't invite yourself over. Don't do nothing.
I can't say I'm around the corner.
No,
I'm about to stop by.
no,
Why?
no, because I what you just said. No, I'm busy. I'm doing something. I was just getting ready to go take a bath. I was just getting ready to. I'm only gonna be 5 minutes.
Right, it's 2:00.
I don't. No. I don't like that. I don't play that. No, that is a.
Yeah, but people are like that, and sometimes, and then people start making you feel obligated to be available to them when they're feeling some kind of way, and it's like, I'm not your therapist, so please, don't do that. So yeah, that's always interesting.
I do think it's so going back to the happiness and what you're saying makes a lot of sense because again, people do try to get a little bit of that. They want your energy. They want your energy and they'll just keep on until they get it.
Yeah, I do think people try to steal your happiness as well. If when they see that they think that you have all these things that they want to get from you. So if you appear like you have a lot of money, I do know people who don't, they drive basic cars, they look nice all the time, and they have a lot of money. But see, people see that they're content. That's the word.
Right.
So when you are content in yourself and in your happiness, I see people trying to disturb that as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's always interesting to me. It's just like, sometimes people just don't know how to be happy for other people. People like that, I find a lot of joy in them. I just watch how they move, how they walk, how they talk to people. They're very transparent. They're very nice and cordial because they know that they don't want or need anything from you. But that's just always interesting to sit back and watch other people nitpick at them.
Have you met anyone or try are you I know you talked about, but are you drawn to people where you try to help them? Like if you see somebody that's going through something that's depressed, let's
Don't ask your question.
Let me
so sorry.
let me get it out. What if somebody was going through a divorce, and she's just really and you've been knowing her for a while? Do you allow her to lean on you for that support?
Yes, I do. But I am one of those people when people start calling me about divorces and stuff, I say, listen, first of all, I'm going to give you some advice. I don't want to know what he did or she did. I don't want to know because I don't want to be judgmental to your partner. I don't need to be mad at your partner unless they putting their hands on you. Now, if they over there being violent, let me know. I will bring a U-Haul and we going to pack up and go. But all that back and forth and he say, she say, I don't want to be a part of that because you could forgive that person and then I'm still mad at them.
Right.
Because I'm not going to forget what you said they did to you. So I just rather not know what happened. Now, if you're going through a divorce, absolutely, I'm there for you. You could call me in the middle of the night crying. I will hold the phone and listen to you, try to be encouraging. I don't mind that at all. However, don't call me and keep threatening that you're going to get a divorce. Because now you just eating my time up. Either you're getting a divorce or you're not. But I'm one of those people, I'm like, first of all, stop calling everybody because I know I wasn't your first call. Stop calling everybody telling them what you get ready to do. Stop threatening your spouse telling them what you get ready to do because after a while, your spouse ain't going to want to hear it. Either you're going to get a divorce or you're not, or you're going to leave. Whatever you're going to do, you just need to do it. Don't go in there running your spouse down to your kids and all that. Like, that's just not cool to me. I'm that kind of friend. I'm going to
But
keep
what
it
if
real.
it makes them happy
No.
to call
No.
everybody and talk to
That's not
everybody? I know it's not fair, but
And I'm going to say that to them.
but-
Stop calling everybody talking bad about your
But
spouse.
hold on, we talking about what makes people happy. We didn't say now some of these people they toxic, and toxicity makes them happy.
Well, they won't be calling me because I ain't going to want to hear nothing I got to say.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying when we talk about what makes people happy, certain people thrive on mess. They are happy being in the middle of chaos and gossip and just
Yeah, they are.
mess.
And I know some people like that, and I sit back and look at them and just shake my head. But yeah, I do know some people like that they sit up, they just, call, and run people down. And to me, that's just not cool, especially if you're going to continue to be with that person.
But why? What do you think? Why do you think those people are like that? Like
because they want people to pick sides.
No, no, that's a simple no. I mean, do you think it's attention? Do you think it's something stemming from their childhood? I mean, people that are always full of drama and chaos, like I was telling you, narcissistic people just want to attach themselves to me.
Well, I think they're like that because they want attention and they want somebody to validate their behavior to say that they're right. And see, like narcissistic people, I do believe that they know that they're wrong. I do think that. I know, many would say, oh, no, I don't think they always know if they're right or wrong. But I do think that they realize what their behavior is doing to somebody else. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep doing it. They like to tear people down. But some people are just like that. The joy of being able to reenact what happened brings them joy, and then this happened, being dramatic and, just putting on a whole play or show for somebody.
Telling a story 1,000 times. But wait. I got one for you, though, because, you always giving me slack about being private. This private patty over here.
My goodness.
But you want to know why? Because of what you just said.
Because people like to tell your story wrong. I understand
Tell
that.
it wrong, and I don't like drama and chaos, and I feel like exactly what you just said. The more I repeat it, the more it's like after a while, because I used to be that person.
What, that was dramatic?
I won't say I was dramatic, but I was that person that, like I wanted to tell, let me call such and such, and let me tell, and and I'm repeating myself, and after a while I started listening and hearing myself. I'm like, why do you keep repeating yourself? What are you doing? What are you trying to get out of this? This isn't making you happy. It's like you keep reliving that. And so, yeah.
And that's funny you said that because I do tell people when I know that they've told a story more than once, I say, now you see how you just made yourself all worked up and angry all over again because you keep telling that story, reenacting it. And I've catch myself doing the same thing. Girl, you could ask me something that happened 10 years ago. If I start telling that story, my whole demeanor would change back into that moment when it first happened. It just kills your happiness.
Yes.
And then, now you're thinking about it in the nighttime.
Right.
Then you back up in the morning talking, y'all, I'm going to have to go back and, and it's over with. It's
and what I should have did different. You know what I should have did? When I think about it, this is what I should have said. And then you got an attitude, and don't let the person still be, you wake up mugging them. Don't let it be your husband. Wake up side eye. Well, man, what's wrong? You know what you did. Yes, you know what? I was thinking about that when you did that 12 years ago.
Killing the whole everything that you did.
Yeah.
I thought we went past this. I had people to say, I had to leave this person alone because they couldn't get past what had happened on this day.
Yes.
And I said, wow. I said, they just kept bringing it up here. Because, you could just look at somebody and they know you're thinking about it. And they be like, oh, my God, well, what you thinking about now? You was like, I
forgave you, but I didn't forget what you did. And do you think that's possible, to forgive and forget? When people say, I forgive but never forget.
I hate when people say that. I'm like, get your life together.
Yeah. You can forgive. You don't, we know you can't forget because your memory is there, but you don't have to keep reliving that moment. If you're going to forgive something, forgive it. Forgive it and move on. You don't have to relive it. Like you just said, you do not have to relive it, because reliving it is going to bring back all these emotions that you supposedly got past.
Some people like to, I don't know, certain situations.
Chaos.
Certain situations, I'd be like, let me tell you what happened. Especially if it was a victory for me. I'm going to tell the story again. I'm going to tell it again.
Because it made you happy.
Yeah, it made me happy.
But if it's something that didn't make you, then you don't need to tell that story no more. You need to let it go.
Let me tell you what I did.
Yeah, see, me and my ex, when we split, I'm like, I could have lived in the moment of all the things that went wrong.
Right.
But I didn't. I'm like, let me forgive, let me move on, because I'm moving on into my own happiness. And so because I'm moving on into my happiness, why am I dwelling? That's why I don't get with certain people, I'm happy, but I can't stand that MF. I can't. Why?
Right.
If you happy and you moved on, why you still got mad? All these ill feelings over here? Because you ain't moved on. You a lie. You a lie. And I know somebody want to challenge me. On that. But it is true. If somebody can evoke feelings from
anger,
yes,
or whatever,
you ain't closed that down over here.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
I don't know about that.
You ain't. It's not. It's because you don't. You can. What's that? Love it and leave it. Or if it ain't meant for you, then I'm gonna leave it over there. But why am I still mad at you?
Because you disturbed my happiness.
Okay, so then you ain't got over me disturbing your happiness.
You didn't start. I was over here all in peace,
yeah,
loving on the Lord and doing other things, and now you done interrupt my bank account, you done interrupt and wrecked my car, you done wrecked up my credit,
But at some point, if you meet someone else and they reestablish or give you back all that and then some, you back on your feet and you doing good, and this man is treating you absolutely the best that you ever thought that you could be treated, then why are you still mad at John over here?
Because of what he did.
No. No, ma'am. No.
I don't know. Why would I still be mad at him? Listen, I don't know. Yeah, they always do say you got to forget, just to move on.
You gotta forgive
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you used to always give me scriptures about forgiving.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I did,
and I was just like, girl, no.
Yeah,
you was like, you got to forgive. But forgiving is not for the other person. It's for yourself. I was like, please, honey, because what I'm going to do is
no, it is definitely
havoc and pain on these people.
No, it is for you, because you, like I said, you wake up mad. You don't even know why you're mad. Then started your day mad.
Yes, yes, I do. I know exactly. I thought about it all night long.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Just
I thought about it all night long.
No, you got to let that go. Let it go. Let it go. Sweep it under the rug and let it go.
And then they call you and be like, oh, yeah, they're no longer with us. I'll be like, oh, Lord.
Exactly.
Forgive you can.
Right.
You went on to glory.
Yeah. No. I try to forgive everybody. I do. I try to just be like, you know what? It ain't even, and I don't even know where I learned that. I can't even say who taught me that. I don't know who taught me that.
You are very forgiving. I have another girlfriend like that. Boy, somebody could slice up all the ties and everything. She'd be like, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna pray for you." I'd be like, "What? What we doing? We forgiven already?" Yes, we're forgiven, Jay. We're forgiven. I said, "Oh my goodness!" And it ain't even been a week or nothing, and you done forgave him. Yes, yeah. I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, you got to get to that point because it does more harm than good. Just it's like it's eating at you, and a lot of times you can't do anything about it,
right."
Especially if you see that person moving on in happiness and you miserable, like they're winning, you not.
Yeah, I don't know that I would see them in happiness.
If you so happen to hear or see a post or something where they are appearing,
Exactly.
they might not be happy, but they might be appearing. Well, you know what? Anyway, that's a whole nother one too.
Because people put on a big show on social media, and I know you ain't happy, but okay, girl.
Yeah, they try to casually come back, circle the block in a casual way, but I think a lot of people, forgiveness is really a big, that is like key to me because I know what that can do to you internally if you don't forgive. And your happiness, I do believe I believe that also comes internally. Like you have to know what makes you happy. And whether it be money or whatever, so you think that's what makes you happy.
I think a lot of people look up and just find that they're happy. I don't know that they do stuff intentionally. Like, I mean, working out is happiness. Being able to go buy an appliance or, a big purchase item without being worried about how you're going to pay for it can bring you happiness. Seeing your children be successful definitely brings happiness. And they may not even be where they want to be, but you're just so happy for them.
That's what I was about to say. Do you think that comes with where you are in life?
Yes.
Because like you said, when you're younger, it's more material. But as you get older and you start to kind of put things in a little bit more perspective, it's different for you.
I would agree with that. And a lot of times, a lot of it is about age and where you are in life. Because as a young person, being 20, should you just happy to go hang out with your friends? You kind of revert back to your early childhood years in your 20s. You just want to hang out. You don't answer to nobody no more. You can stay out as late as you want to, or you could go out of town and come back and not be worried about anything. I just think a lot of it is a reflection of where you are maturity wise, not necessarily your age, because you see maturity at different age levels.
I think my truest happiness comes from when I'm just kind of with me.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Being just no interruptions, no, like you said, somebody trying to disturb my peace, none of that. Just me being with me. I think that's when I'm at my happiest.
I agree with that because I'm okay with being by myself. And I think a lot of people who are unhappy, you will find that they don't like being by themselves.
Right.
They're always asking somebody to come over or for them to go over there. And so, just to sit in a room with yourself with nothing on or, whatever, listening to music, watching a movie, whatever, that is happiness for me. Because I could listen to music all day long and just, have a good old time. Yeah. But a lot of people, and I do pray that people find happiness because I could look at some people and be like, oh my God, you're so miserable. And you just wreak havoc on everybody you come in contact with because of your unhappiness. And then you just have to, pray that they find what happiness is for them.
And then, like you just said, people that go and I've always kind of wondered about this too, because this is always, but I mean, it's not a good or bad thing, but I'm going to leave my house and I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to sit at your house for hours at a time watching TV. The same thing I could have did at home by myself. So why am I doing that? Because I'm miserable?
No, because I actually just told that story to somebody. I used to wake up in the morning, walk across the street to my best friend's house, and just sit over there. Now, they wasn't doing nothing. They probably wasn't even up yet good. And they looking at me like, little girl, go back home. But, at the time, I'm the last sibling, so I didn't have nobody to play with. But really, I wish that my parents would have said, you need to stay at home and find something to do around the house, because then I think I would have found the happiness within myself sooner as a younger person than waiting until I get older. But yeah, for sure.
So do you think you were not unhappy during that time? Is that your reason for going over there? Or
I don't think so. I think I just didn't know that I was happy with myself. I felt the need to be around noise and hearing people chitter chatter. I don't know what that was about, but yeah.
so in closing, I got one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep with white noise? Do you have to have something going on in the background?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I can't stand to have the TV on, the nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I just want to be, I want it to be quiet.
Okay, all right.
What about yourself?
No, I need it quiet.
Yes.
I need it quiet. And I think that's, I don't know. Certain people like the white noise, the fan in the background and all that, but I like quiet.
Yeah, even when I'm hot, I can't stand the sound of the fan. I'm like, can I get one of them silent fans?
They're like, that is not the point. All right. Well, as always, we are grateful to those who joined us today discussing simple but challenging conversations. And until the next time, become your own peace. Be slow to speak, fast to think, and before you release it, ask yourself, who taught us that?